Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The ordinary transforms into the extraordinary, and where every coin tells a story that defies belief. A story that stretches beyond its face value and dives deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, rarities, and once-in-a-lifetime finds. And today, we are going to explore a remarkable tale that stunned collectors, historians, and treasure seekers alike. A tale revolving around a humble 2002 1-cent coin. A coin originally minted for general circulation with the expectation of anonymity and insignificance. A coin that was supposed to be just another penny among billions. Yet because of its incredible errors, striking anomalies, and astonishing survival against all odds, this single piece of copper-plated zinc has become the stuff of legends, commanding a jaw-dropping price tag of $18 million and earning a revered status among collectors, investors, and dreamers all over the world who now see every spare coin in their possession through the lens of hope and curiosity. And while it might seem unimaginable that such a small, everyday object could attain such astronomical value, the explanation behind this phenomenon lies buried beneath layers of intricate minting mistakes, production blunders, and truly rare conditions that together have transformed this 2002 1-cent into a financial titan cloaked in historical mystery. And to understand why, we must first revisit the year 2002, a year when the US Mint was operating with high efficiency but also facing growing automation complexities and subtle technical vulnerabilities that occasionally produced mint errors undetectable to the average eye but life-changing for the rare few who stumbled upon them. And this particular coin, minted at a time when hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins were being produced for daily use, carries within its tiny diameter the echoes of a monumental minting catastrophe that somehow escaped detection during the strict quality control process, as this coin bears not one or two but multiple layered errors that each contribute significantly to its unmatched value, starting with its off-center strike, a striking misalignment that caused the coin's design to be shifted by nearly 35%, giving it a crescent shape on one edge while cutting off vital parts of Lincoln's portrait and the date stamp. And while off-center strikes are not unheard of, finding one that severe, combined with multiple other anomalies, is extraordinarily rare, especially on a coin that managed to make it into circulation before being plucked out and preserved in pristine condition. And if that weren't enough to spike the interest of collectors, this particular coin also exhibits what experts refer to as a double die obverse, a result of a misalignment during the hubbing process that causes noticeable doubling in the design elements, especially around Lincoln's eye, the word liberty, and the date, giving the coin a ghost-like aura that amplifies its uniqueness. And when viewed under magnification, the doubling effect is so pronounced and symmetrical that it immediately sets this specimen apart from others in the error coin universe. And these two dramatic errors alone would have made it a collector's delight. But the surprises don't stop there, because this 2002 1-cent also presents an ultra-rare mule error, meaning that it has mismatched dies used in its striking, an obverse intended for the Lincoln cent, paired with a reverse die that seems to come from an experimental prototype never intended for public release, with a faint and partially struck architectural structure instead of the traditional Lincoln memorial, leading experts to believe that this die combination may have been a product of a test run at the mint that was mistakenly fed into the general production stream. And the implications of this are staggering, because it suggests that the coin was not merely an accident of poor striking, but possibly a ghost remnant from a secret or abandoned minting experiment, giving it a provenance that borders on mythical. And that's still not the end of the story, because metallurgical analysis of this coin revealed something even more baffling. It was struck on a planchet that appears to be marginally thicker than standard, slightly heavier than usual by approximately 0.2 grams, and with a minute deviation in its copper layering that suggests it may have been created during a batch of experimental blanks or during a transitional metal supply phase. And this deviation not only enhances its rarity but raises suspicions about whether the coin was part of a small run using leftover blanks from earlier years, making it not just an error coin but a potential bridge between production eras, something that fascinates both historians and technical mint specialists. And when you combine all these errors, the severe off-center strike, the dramatic double die obverse, the rare mule combination, and the anomalous planchet, you get a coin that defies probability. A specimen so rare that no other known example has surfaced with the exact same combination of flaws, turning it into a true one-of-one treasure in the world of collectible currency. And to add even more intrigue, The coin surfaced not in a private collection or specialized dealer's vault but in the most unexpected way, discovered by a young coin roll hunter in the Midwest who had been sorting through boxes of pennies as part of a casual hobby, not realizing that his simple routine of checking coins against a magnifier and reference book would lead him to uncover a multi-million-dollar artifact hiding in plain sight. And when he submitted the coin to a major grading agency for verification, the numismatic community held its breath, waiting for confirmation, and when it finally came, the verdict stunned even the most seasoned collectors. The coin was authentic, its errors were verified, and its condition graded as mint state 67 red, an almost flawless state for a coin that had technically been through circulation but somehow escaped any significant wear, which further cemented its reputation as a miracle find. And as the coin made headlines and was eventually auctioned for $18 million to an anonymous buyer, speculation grew about its origins, with some insiders suggesting it may have been part of a small, unofficial batch minted during a transitional period or perhaps even the result of an intentional test by a rogue employee attempting to produce a hidden legacy coin, although such theories remain unproven and unconfirmed, and the mystery only deepens with time as no other coin matching its specific error profile has emerged, making it a standalone icon of minting irregularity and a beacon for aspiring treasure hunters, because the existence of such a coin fuels the imagination and passion of thousands who now scan their pocket change, coin rolls, and old jars in search of the next big discovery, hoping that lightning will strike twice. And the market value of this coin is not just about its metal, age, or denomination, but about the story it tells, the mystery it carries, and the dreams it inspires. For in a world increasingly driven by digital assets and intangible wealth, the tangible rarity of a flawed yet perfect coin stands out as a symbol of serendipity, of being in the right place at the right time, and of the incredible value that can be hidden within the smallest objects. And as numismatists continue to analyze this coin and its characteristics, new theories arise about its place in minting history, its impact on collector behavior, and its potential role in influencing future mint policies regarding error detection and quality control. And even years after its discovery, it remains the subject of forums, documentaries, scholarly articles, and private discussions, proving that the legacy of a single cent can reverberate through time and space when its story is powerful enough. And it reminds all of us that sometimes the greatest treasures are found not in gold mines or distant lands but in the most mundane corners of our lives, waiting patiently to be recognized, understood, and valued for what they truly are. So the next time you receive a penny and change, remember the tale of the 2002 1 cent that became a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, and take a moment to look closely, because you never know what secrets might be hiding beneath that tiny copper surface, a surface that in this case has rewritten the rules of collecting, investing, and dreaming big through small things. And as this coin continues to live in quiet majesty, preserved behind glass in a secure vault far from the hands of time, it stands as a shining reminder that the world of coins is far from static, far from ordinary, and always full of surprises for those willing to look a little closer. Next, 1996 1 cent USA coin. Hidden treasures come to life, where the most unassuming coins can turn out to be worth fortunes, and where every penny has a story that could change your world. And today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare coins, a story that's as captivating as it is mind-blowing, centered around a humble 1996 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and investors alike with its extraordinary value of $11 million, a price tag that seems almost unfathomable for a coin most people would pass by without a second glance. Yet here we are, exploring how this seemingly ordinary penny became a multi-million-dollar marvel. And the journey to understanding why this coin is so valuable begins with a closer look at the unique errors and minting anomalies that turned it from common currency into one of the most desirable collectibles on the planet. Because while billions of 1 cent coins were struck in 1996 by the United States Mint, only one known specimen exhibits the perfect storm of mistakes and rare characteristics that have propelled it into the upper echelons of the numismatic world. And it all starts with the most visually striking and instantly noticeable error, the extreme off-center strike that misaligned the entire coin's design by over 40%, creating a dramatic crescent of blank space along one edge while compressing Lincoln's portrait and the date into a tight, lopsided composition on the opposite side. And while off-center errors are not rare by themselves, one as extreme as this and still showing a full visible date and readable inscriptions is exceptionally rare. And it gets even more interesting when you realize that this coin also exhibits a double die obverse error, a doubling of the image caused during the hubbing process, where the coin die receives more than one impression from the hub but fails to align perfectly between each strike, resulting in a ghostly doubling of the elements such as Lincoln's eye, the date numerals, and the word liberty, and this doubling gives the coin a haunting beauty that captures the eye and adds significantly to its appeal among error collectors. And when you combine that with the fact that this coin was also struck on a transitional planchet, one that was meant to be phased out in favor of a slightly different composition, you begin to understand why experts agree that this coin is an extremely rare anomaly, as the transitional planchet itself was believed to have been used only in a very limited capacity and not intended for mass circulation in 1996. Yet this coin clearly shows the characteristics of this metal blend with a marginal weight difference and slightly altered edge reading, suggesting that it was struck during a changeover period in the mint's material sourcing. And when metallurgists analyzed this particular penny, they confirmed that the copper plating was slightly thicker than standard, which not only distinguishes it from the majority of 1996 cents but also raises questions about how it passed through quality control undetected. And beyond the physical errors that make this coin so fascinating, there's also the matter of its pristine condition, as this coin was found in an uncirculated state with brilliant red luster, virtually flawless surfaces, and no signs of handling, which led to its grading of mint state 68 red, an exceptionally high grade that adds tremendous value, because even with all the errors in place, a coin's condition plays a huge role in determining its worth, and it's nearly unheard of to find such a dramatic error coin that's also been so perfectly preserved. And the story of its discovery only adds to the allure, as it was reportedly found not by a seasoned collector or professional grader but by a teenager in the Pacific Northwest who had taken up coin roll hunting as a hobby, a simple pastime that turned into a once-in-a-lifetime find when he opened a bank wrapped roll of pennies and immediately noticed something was off about one of them, and upon closer inspection with a loupe, he saw the off-center strike and the doubling and decided to post it on a coin collecting forum, where seasoned experts urged him to send it in for grading. And when the results came back, the entire numismatic community was stunned, and that's when the coin began to make headlines, sparking a frenzy of interest and debate, with prominent collectors and even a few museums expressing interest in acquiring it. And when it finally went to auction, the bidding war was intense and emotional, eventually resulting in a final hammer price of $11 million, a number that shocked even the most optimistic of experts and firmly placed the coin in the pantheon of legendary errors. And beyond the monetary value, the coin has become an icon, a symbol of the unpredictable beauty of minting mistakes, and a reminder that sometimes imperfections can be more valuable than perfection. And theories abound about how all these errors could have occurred on a single coin, with some suggesting that it may have been the result of a mechanical failure on a production line combined with overlooked changes in the raw materials being fed into the minting presses, while others speculate about the possibility of an intentional minting anomaly by a rogue employee who wanted to leave behind a signature piece, though no concrete evidence supports that theory. And part of the magic of this coin lies in that mystery, the unanswered questions about how such a rare combination of factors could align so perfectly to produce a single coin that embodies so many types of error: off-center strike, double die obverse, transitional planchet, and exceptional condition. And what makes this story even more thrilling is the ripple effect it has had in the coin collecting world, as now collectors are combing through their 1996 penny stashes with renewed enthusiasm, hoping that another similar coin might exist, though to date, no other example has come close to matching the convergence of flaws seen on this specimen, and that rarity is precisely what cements its place in history, as a one-of-a-kind artifact whose existence challenges our understanding of minting procedures and quality control. And as time goes on, its value is likely to increase even more as the coin becomes a benchmark for collectors, a case study for error analysis, and a dream artifact for those who hope to discover something similarly magnificent. And it's a coin that will likely be the centerpiece of any collection it joins, not just because of its value but because of the story it tells, the sheer improbability of its creation, and the reminder it offers that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can carry immense worth when their uniqueness is understood and appreciated. And whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting into the hobby, the tale of the 1996 1 cent that sold for $11 million is a powerful example of how curiosity, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck can uncover incredible value in the most unexpected places, and it reinforces the idea that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to notice, to care, to investigate, and to believe that something extraordinary can come from something so seemingly ordinary. And as we reflect on the remarkable journey of this coin, from an unnoticed anomaly in a sealed roll to a headline-making, record-shattering marvel, we are reminded that every coin has a past, a creation story, and a destiny, and in rare cases, that destiny can include fame, fortune, and a place in numismatic history. And for those who now look at their spare change differently, who search their coin jars, pocket change, and bankrolls with anticipation and wonder, this coin stands as both an inspiration and a goal, the ultimate proof that even in a world filled with billions of coins, one singular mistake can be worth a fortune. And as this 1996 1 cent now rests in a high-security vault owned by a private collector who has chosen to remain anonymous, it continues to inspire awe, discussion, and the hunt for more hidden treasures that might just be waiting for their moment to shine. And so the legend grows, not just of a coin, but of what can happen when the stars align, the press misfires, and history is accidentally made on a piece of copper the size of a thumbnail. A story that will echo through the ages and continue to ignite the imaginations of those who believe that something small can indeed be worth something unimaginably large. Last 1999 1 cent USA coin. The smallest things can lead to the biggest surprises, where overlooked items can become multi-million-dollar treasures, and where coins are not just coins but living artifacts carrying incredible stories of human error, history, and pure chance. And today we are taking you deep into the fascinating and almost unbelievable story of a 1999 1 cent coin, a humble Lincoln penny that somehow escaped its intended fate as just another indistinguishable piece of pocket change and instead transformed into an $8 million marvel, a legendary coin in the world of numismatics whose extraordinary rise in value is directly tied to a series of rare, complex, and mesmerizing minting errors and production anomalies that together create a perfect storm of collectability, mystery, and jaw-dropping uniqueness. And while millions of 1999 1 cent coins were struck for daily use, and most of them lived out their lives in wallets, jars, vending machines, and sidewalks, there exists one singular specimen that has broken away from the crowd, not because of what it was supposed to be, but because of everything it accidentally became. And to understand the gravity of its value, we have to unravel layer by layer the intricate web of minting flaws, production mishaps, and physical traits that collectively make this penny worth more than most luxury homes, beginning first with one of the most immediately noticeable features, the off-center strike, which shifts the design roughly 40% to the lower left of the coin's surface, causing Abraham Lincoln's head to be clipped nearly in half and the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" to be partially or completely missing, a dramatic departure from normal design alignment that is already rare enough to increase collector interest. But this is only the beginning, because further inspection reveals a powerful and clear double die obverse, an error in which the coin was struck twice with slightly misaligned dies, causing Lincoln's remaining facial features, his collar, the date 1999, and the word "Liberty" to appear doubled in a slightly ghostly and yet perfectly traceable manner. An error that is not only visually striking but historically significant due to the extremely low probability of such a precise double die making it through quality control and into circulation. And if that were the full extent of the coin's anomalies, it would already be a valuable error coin. But this one pushes the boundaries even further with the discovery of a rare mule error, a type of minting mistake where the obverse of the coin, Lincoln's profile, is paired with a reverse that was never intended to match it. And in this case, instead of the standard Lincoln Memorial reverse that belongs on all 1999 cents, this coin was accidentally struck with a reverse die used for a foreign coin, creating a hybrid that technically should not and could not exist, which adds an element of mystery and possible clandestine activity at the mint itself. And when you combine this with an improperly prepared planchette that appears to have come from a transitional or foreign alloy batch, the mystery only deepens, because metallurgical analysis shows that the coin has a slightly different composition and weight than standard US cents produced in 1999, leading experts to believe that it may have been struck during a transitional phase or using leftover blanks from an experimental minting session. And further complicating the matter is the presence of severe die cracks that spider out from the rim of the coin like lightning bolts, particularly near the date and the bottom rim of the coin, which are characteristic of a die nearing the end of its usable life and producing highly desirable retained cud errors where the metal fills in the crack to create raised ridges or blobs of metal along the rim, features that collectors seek out for their beauty and rarity, and incredibly, despite all of these striking and visible minting errors, this coin managed to survive in what grading agencies consider to be nearly mint state condition, a feat made even more impressive considering that error coins often suffer more handling, since they are more likely to catch people's attention and be passed around before they are formally preserved. But this coin shows a smooth and lustrous surface, sharply defined details in the unaffected areas, and a deep red copper shine that marks it as a top-tier specimen among coins of its kind, and because of this near-perfect state of preservation, coupled with its long list of major and minor errors, it has come to be known in the coin collecting world as the 1999 Phantom Mule Cent, a coin whose value is not only tied to its physical rarity but also to the swirling rumors and possibilities that surround its very existence, with theories ranging from rogue mint workers experimenting with die setups, to shipping mix-ups that led to foreign dies being stored and used in US presses, to accidental or even intentional use of outdated or incompatible machinery during graveyard shifts when fewer quality control staff were present, and although the truth behind its creation may never be fully known, what's beyond debate is that its combination of visible error types, including off-center strike, dramatic double die obverse, severe die cracks, mule reverse, and improper planchette, alongside its elite condition has created a collector's dream. And when it was first discovered by a casual coin roll hunter who had been going through boxes of bank-wrapped pennies out of curiosity and a hobbyist's love for small details, he had no idea he was holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever minted by mistake. And when he brought it to a local coin dealer for evaluation, initial reactions were disbelief, followed quickly by mounting excitement as more and more experts confirmed the authenticity of the coin's myriad errors, and before long, it was submitted to a major grading agency for professional certification, where it received a near-unprecedented level of attention and scrutiny, and the result was a solid certification of authenticity, a high mint state grade, and the official beginning of its journey into numismatic legend, eventually leading to its auction appearance where heated bidding between wealthy collectors, international investors, and private institutions drove its final sale price to an incredible $8 million, an amount that shocked even the auction house executives and sent ripples through the collecting world, inspiring a new wave of interest in modern era coins and sending thousands of amateur collectors scrambling to inspect their change jars, piggy banks, and pocket lint for the next possible discovery, because in the wake of the sale, this 1999 1 cent became more than a collector's item. It became a symbol of hope, of how the tiniest details and the most unremarkable objects can contain astonishing secrets waiting to be revealed, and while no other known examples of this exact error combination have surfaced, its existence raises tantalizing questions about how many similar coins may have been minted, slipped through the cracks of the system, and are now lying dormant somewhere, waiting for a moment of discovery that could change someone's life forever, and coin experts continue to study its features, adding it to textbooks, error coin databases, and museum discussions, where it now holds a position of high academic and collector interest, and its influence has gone beyond the realm of coin collecting, sparking discussions in economic history circles, manufacturing error studies, and even pop culture narratives that explore the nature of value and the role of chance in financial success. And for those who continue to explore the world of error coins, the story of this 1999 cent is a guiding light, a reminder that the minting process, while highly controlled, is still vulnerable to human and mechanical failure, and when those failures line up just right, they can produce something that transcends function and becomes a multi-million-dollar piece of modern art, a snapshot of imperfection so rare that it becomes priceless. And so the next time you receive a penny in your hand, don't be so quick to dismiss it as worthless, because if the story of the 1999 $8 million 1 cent coin has taught us anything, it's that value can be hidden in plain sight, disguised in errors, wrapped in mystery, and waiting patiently to reward those who take the time to look just a little bit closer.